One day, mysterious holes called black circles began appearing all over the world. Their origin and contents were unknown. No one who entered ever came back. When a black circle appeared at Do-yoon's school, it grew larger and larger until it swallowed the entire building, dragging Do-yoon and most of his classmates inside. There, they encounter terrifying paranormal activities. Will our hero find a way to escape the black circle, or will he be lost in the mysterious void forever? We see our main character holding this nib in front of the blackboard and trying to explain something to all his classmates in front of him. And he says, looking at the people, "I'll explain it one last time before the bell rings." On this, we see that all the people in the house are looking towards him, and he would say to all, "There's no time, so I'll only cover the key points." Then start to explain. Map making. There are 4 paths branching out from the center of the classroom. We'll divide into 4 teams and start making a map, and you can use the symbols we agreed on earlier, or you can sketch it simply as long as it's understandable. And yes, as soon as after 50 minutes, the bell will ring. The bell will ring every 50 minutes, 10-minute intervals. Before that, everyone must gather back here. Each time we regroup, we'll combine the maps we've created. But then we see behind him that a dead body of a man is lying outside the class. In what way was the person whose body was continuously bleeding given a painful death? But on the other hand, we see the main character in our story who still continues his story. By repeating this process multiple times, the map leading to the exit will naturally be completed. And he said, looking towards them, "Everyone got it?" On this, we see some of his classmates looking at him in a very strange manner and are worried, thinking something in their mind, as if those people did not understand this concept at all. But this does not make any difference to the main character. He continues his discussion further here. He tells all those people, "One last thing before we start. Never overexert yourself. If you see a monster, don't even think about fighting it or trying anything." And here, he is just trying to make them understand his words, that they should not do any stupid things here. But from that, those people do not care about the time and are just listening to him as if they are getting free knowledge. And here he gives a warning to all of them. If you sense anything even slightly strange, run away immediately. We will all gather here to find a solution together. After listening to his words, we see all those people who are scared and say out of fear, "We are feeling very scared here. What is going to happen to us after all?" And here, all those people have sweat dripping from their faces. After this, the main character speaks with full confidence. After some time, we see that all of them start leaving the class one by one. But on the other hand, we see our main character looking distressedly at the mountains from the balcony and wondering, things begin. And how did things end up like this? This is the story of our survival, trapped in hell. After this, we are shown here, a few days ago in Seoul. We see Do-yoon, whose mom is calling him for food, and he is still sleeping. But the good-for-nothing still doesn't hear his mother's voice, upon which his mother screams at him, saying, "Kim Do-yoon." After some time, we are told about our main character. He has the name Kim Do-yoon, Seonho High School, first year, class 4, and he has a mother and a younger sister here. But his mother is talking to him, "Kim Do-yeon, Mom told you not to use your phone while eating." On this, we see our character speaking while putting the spoon in front of him in his mouth. "Mother, what are you saying after all? Seriously, how rude in front of such a delicious meal." But here, we see his sister giving him an angry look and speaking to him. "If you overslept, just shut up and eat instead of annoying me." But then her mother slaps her behind the back and says, "What nonsense are you brat, doing here? Are you seriously swearing in front of Mom?" The poor girl gets into a bad state due to this, and we see her brother laughingly say, "Nice one, Mom. Hit him so hard he never swears again." And he is having a lot of fun here, but we see someone spoiling his fun. His mom stops doing whatever she was doing and punches him hard on his back, after which blood comes out of his mouth. And here his mother angrily screams at both of them and says, "You both, hurry up and eat already." After some time, we see the outside scene where his sister speaks to him in a scary manner. "If you act like you know me at school, you're dead." And he says to her, "Will you? Forget it, just send me money." But his sister says to him, I'll take care of it myself. Geez, you're so impatient. But he replies, my little Nuna, you're just slow. After this, we see that he moves ahead from there. But then some of his friends come in front of him and speak to him. And here we are told about his small and fatty friend. The first one is Choi Wong-yun, Seonho High School, first year, class 4. Then the second one is Jung Ji-woo, Seonho High School, first year, class 3. But they turn towards his sister and say, that means your sister is also here? And they completely become fools. Those people don't have the courage here. They want to talk to his sister only. Hey, please say hello to your sister on our behalf. After this, we see the friends talking among themselves. Did you come to school together? I thought you two didn't get along, but you seem close. But our main character talks to those friends. Are you crazy? Why would I be close with him? Today's our dad's birthday, so we came together to pick out a gift. On this, we see his small friend who is excited. If you're picking out a gift together, that means you're close. Why be so shy, Do-yoon? Be a little more honest. But Do-yoon says, ugh, you guys are annoying me so early in the morning. Come here, you little punks. And after this, he escapes from the friends. But just when he applies the brakes, his head gets hit by the fatty's guitar, and the people present there speak out about his actions. Hey, students, stop running and be careful. But he is surprised. He is standing there and looking at the crowd in front, where a lot of people have gathered, and they don't know what they are doing. And he too, while joining this crowd, keeps asking, what is going on here? And there we are shown that an area has been completely blocked, and we can see a very big hole there, around which a barrier has been placed. On this, his fatty friend speaks in surprise. Damn, isn't that a black circle? Did one appear at our school too? It's pretty big. And Do-yoon says to him, if it's a black circle, then it must be that one, right? But his small friend says, a hole that once you enter, you can never come back from. I heard that over 1,000 people have already gone missing. What? 1,000 people? There haven't been any victims here, right? I overheard someone saying that there aren't any, but suddenly we see a policeman who loudly says, students, stop watching and move along. And we see clearly the big dark hole in the back of that policeman. Then we move into the next scene in the classroom. We see the class teacher who will give important info to all students. There are 10 minutes left until break time, so I have something important to say, and everyone passes a note to each other. Do-yoon reads this note full of concern. Everyone saw the black circle that appeared at our school, right? And then yesterday, there was a tragic incident related to a black circle in another area. And the teacher tells about the black circle phenomenon. The black circle phenomenon refers to the mysterious circular holes that have recently appeared around the world. According to investigations, the phenomenon is not affected by gravity. It extends from the sky to the underground. It can range in size from as small as a palm to large enough to fit a car. And there are more details. It appears without any consistent pattern. Despite humanity's efforts to uncover the cause of the phenomenon, the essential details, such as what is inside or why it occurs, remain unknown. The reason is that electronic devices that enter the hole break down quickly, and communication between the inside and outside is impossible, because to this day, not a single person who has entered the hole has ever returned. And then, you know the news about the 5 missing elementary school students yesterday. They found a newly formed hole after school. Out of curiosity, they went in to explore, and just like that, they disappeared. It's unfortunate for those kids, but once you go in, you can never come back, and there's no way to find you. So everyone be careful. And he continued to say, don't even think about playing near the circle. See Do-yoon and his classmates just shocked, and the teacher says to all students, if you discover a new one, report it immediately. And always be aware of your surroundings when walking. Then we see class is over, and all students and Do-yoon's friends simply say goodbye as they prepare to go home. But Do-yoon's sister comes in front of him and gives him a deadly glare. Both start arguing in the middle of the road like little rats. Then the scene shifts from school to Do-yoon's home. We see Do-yoon and his sister celebrating their father's birthday full of excitement. Their dad gives them his best wishes, but Nuna tells their father, This is a gift we bought together." On this, his father speaks to both of them. "You must be busy studying, yet you still prepared a gift?" But then he gets excited after receiving the gift. "My son and daughter are the best. I love you, kids." But then his wife comes and gives him another gift, saying, "Look, this is my gift for you." And then he says to her, "You're the best too, honey. I love you. Just having our family grow up healthy and without a single illness is already a gift." After seeing all this, tears come to his eyes as he speaks emotionally. "I usually don't cry, but my tears are coming out." Then we see the family trying to calm down their father. "Hey, Papa, stop crying. Let's cut your birthday cake." Here they're all very happy celebrating the father's birthday, but then we're told in the background, yeah, at least until this moment, everything was fine. And Do-yun continues his story. "This was just the beginning. As soon as that black hole appeared in front of our school, all the guards stationed there to protect us, who knew they would start disappearing one by one. And this didn't end here. As days passed, incidents kept increasing in even stranger ways. Similarly, one day while I was attending a class lecture, something very strange happened. A boring class, the 5th period where drowsiness would soon take over. Looking outside, I saw a view that stunned me, a terrifying scene. Here we're shown a very creepy sight. Darkness spreading outside the window as people fell into the black pit one by one. The only sounds were people screaming, "Save me! Save me!" Desperate shouts echoing everywhere. After that, we hear what's being reported in the news. An unprecedented disaster has occurred. A massive hole has appeared at Seono High School in District U, Seoul. Unlike any hole seen before, this one is on an entirely different scale. And now, everyone inside the school. We see Seono High School. Shown are many grieving people. Parents crying because their children have completely disappeared. Countless others have lost family members. Outside the school, only a crowd of distraught people is visible. All the people there are crying and screaming in fear. We see the entire school being swallowed by the black hole. The school had fallen into the hole. After witnessing this, all the children present there vanished. Their parents can only cry in anguish for their lost children, after which we will see some kids of this school and the chowkidars were playing football outside in the playground, but they became so careless here that they did not pay any attention, and their football went straight into this black hole. And after this, all of them got gathered inside this hall one by one. And after seeing all those friends in front of him going inside the pit, we see another companion of those people who, out of fear, says no with her trembling lips. And we see that a huge black shadow has come over him, after seeing which his eyes remain wide open. And here we see him in front of the girl. And that girl is sitting at the same place, and she sees in front of her that a part of a very big building has been completely taken out inside the black hole. And after seeing this scene, the girl can only scream. And then the narrator tells us, according to student testimonies, the black hole suddenly appeared and swallowed the school whole. The people who fell into the black hole: 512 students, 38 faculty members. And the only ones who didn't fall were the 17 students who were on the field. But then we see the main character in our story shouts loudly and says, "No, this cannot happen at all," and we see that he has just dreamt here. And he is sweating because of nervousness, and he speaks here with fear. It was just a dream. What a terrifying dream. But after this, he looks at the girl sitting in front of him. But she is reacting in a strange way and looking at the surrounding scene. She is feeling scared where she can see darkness all around. And he says again, looking outside this window where there is only darkness, it wasn't a dream. The school really fell into the black hole. But then we see his class teacher, who is completely exhausted because of the pressure. Is everyone okay? Anyone hurt? And check if your friends next to you are safe. And we see it here. The environment inside the class is very toxic. There is only an atmosphere of fear inside everyone. And here they are only looking at their surrounding classmates, because those people are not able to understand at all that what exactly they should do here. On this, his teacher thanks him and speaks. Thankfully, it looks like no one is injured. But then we see a girl in the class raising her hand and speaking to the teacher. What's going to happen to us now? and his name is Siana. And teacher completely silent 2 seconds in this, then speaks to her, I'll go check on the situation. Everyone, stay put and wait. And seeing the teacher leaving from there, our main character gets very upset and speaks in his mind. What do you mean? What's going to happen? Of course, we should go home. And here he remembers what his friend said, a hole that once you enter, you can never come back from. But then he gets worried and says in his mind, no, don't think negatively. And he completely denies it here. And he speaks here, looking at his classmates in front of him. Look, no one is hurt. We fell, yet we're completely fine. That's strange. Maybe this isn't as big of a deal as it seems. Could it be that the school is only half inside the black hole? And if that's the case, we might be able to escape by going to the rooftop. And his side friend call his name Doyen. You saw it too? Then Doyen speaks to her, the school falling into the black circle. Yeah, I saw it, and he's assuredly say don't worry too much. Since everyone is safe, we should be able to escape. But she say to him, no, not that. So Doyen asked, then what are you talking about? And then she speaks here so creepy way. The school has changed. And they both of look in front of scenario is too much disturbing the school. And we see all students serious on this situation. And along with our main character, we see this girl looking at the whole environment around her. Because all the people present at this place are trembling in fear due to the black hole that they too might disappear at this place. But on the other side, we see their class teacher coming out of the room. He doesn't know why, but he heard some strange sounds which made him feel very creepy, and that's why he went to check this place. But then when he looks in front of him, he gets completely surprised. And he looks ahead and says, are there some kids here trying to play at me? But suddenly he checks his phone where he is told that his network is not working at all. On this he gets worried and says, damn it, what kind of situation is this? I can't even make an emergency call to anyone in this place, and he is going through space. But then we see that the shadow of a girl has come behind them, and we see this girl who says in a very creepy tone, can you tell me where my class is? After listening to this, we see the same class teacher whose eyes remain wide open with fear after seeing the girl. And then, this is where our scene is checked and we are shown the other side. We see our main character talking to the girl in front of him. What do you mean by how this class has changed? On which the girl points at a place and says that you can see her at that place. When the school was falling, it was all distorted. Things fused together, disappeared, split apart, stretched out. It felt like everything was being reconstructed. And here she tells in a varied manner that this place has been regretted after being totally destroyed, and because of this whatever is present here is very scary. And here we see this girl standing in front of her teacher, who looks like a ghostly witch. But then our character says, what are you saying? I am not able to understand this reconstructed. But here we look outside and see our class teacher who asks the girl, who are you after all? And what happened to your arm? Are you hurt? On which we see this girl who is making a very innocent face but looks very scary. And then she speaks angrily, shouting at the class teacher, you were walking around during class, and she looks very creepy while saying this, as if any person standing in front of her would get a heart attack. But here we see our class teacher who has not understood anything. His brain gets blown and he is stunned. He is looking at the girl and giving a serious look asks, what did you say? But before he can say anything further, we see his head flying away. And this witch would have separated our teacher's skull from his third. And this sight is very frightening. We can see only blood all around. And here the children of the entire class have seen this scene in front of them. On seeing this, people are left wondering what exactly happened to the teacher. And then we see a bloody claw coming to the spot and throwing the teacher's body on the spot. And after seeing such a bloody game in front of us, we see that the student is unable to tolerate it at all, and here she screams loudly. After this, there is chaos in that place. There is a student in the leopard's house. There are only water birds, and there is an atmosphere of panic in that place. The narrator then tells us a series of sudden events. The classroom was engulfed in fear and panic. But then we see a boy shouting loudly and saying, look in our class, a murder has taken place here. There's a murderer up front. Sung-jae informed us about what was happening ahead, and we see all our students just run and run. Most of us followed his words without even thinking, and then one student tried to open the back door quickly, and he is watching her by peeking outside from the door. And as he saw this witch in front of him outside, and here he speaks while cursed himself, I was the one whose decision turned out to be completely wrong. And as he takes a step outside his class, then a person from behind shouted at him and said, "Hey, do you want to go there and die?" And there are we see Doyun says and trying to stop that guy. And at this point he walks loudly over to all the guys in his class and tells them that no one is to come out at this time. And we see that a girl grabs the guy's collar and pulls him inside his class, and he says to her, "Did you want to go out and die?" And this girl's name Han Soo-jin, and she shouts at him and says, "Are you crazy? Did you have any wish to die here?" After this, the class is looking towards the front and seeing the view in front. He is feeling very scared, due to which we see sweat starting to drip from his head, and he calls out to Doyun and asks him to bring him the chair that is kept in front of him. But why is just looking at the class our main character Jungwoo surprise, as if he doesn't understand this at all, and he too is feeling very scared at this place. But his eyes fall on the chair placed in front, and the Jungwoo speaks to him, "Pick up a chair. If it comes in, throw it right away," on which the Doyun just keeps looking at him with a surprised expression, as this comes as a complete shock to him, and due to nervousness he too is sweating profusely, and he immediately flips the chair and gives it straight to Impek. And forgive me if there is some confusion in between. I want to tell you clearly that if there is our main character in this series, then it is this class monitor Jungwoo. Now we see both of them who are very scared of going forward because they don't know what kind of trouble is going to come their way now. But then Doyun sees outside the classroom and his eyes widen with surprise. He sees that his class teacher's dead body is lying there. And this scene is very creepy to watch because his body is missing its head and blood is continuously flowing out of his body. But then we see a little girl there. While running, she comes straight in front of the dead body and stands there, and it looks very strange. But then we know that she is no ordinary girl, but a little monster. And she is laughing in a very dangerous way, looking at Doyun with her mouth wide open. And after seeing this scene, the dog's eyes become wide open due to fear, and he becomes so nervous as if his heartbeat will stop right here. And then he is about to throw the monitor which is on the chair towards him. But then he calms down, on which our character does not understand at all what the monitor wants to do. He asks him what happened, where his monitor stops him and says, "Look ahead, she is not coming to attack us." And what the monitor says is correct here because we can see here. This little ghost is haunted. She tries to enter the class, and here she is pretending as if she is a little girl, and she is just smiling and looking at them from there, foaming from the corner of the door. And this smile of this girl is very creepy. And then after this, she immediately disappears from in front of this class. But here we see that both of them did not understand anything here, and they just stood there in surprise, because after all what happened at this place so suddenly, their teacher also got killed here, and after such an accident there is complete silence at this place. After this, the Doyun is telling us, the monster quietly disappeared, leaving us behind in the classroom, and it all happened within 10 minutes after falling into the black void. The teacher is dead. Seeing death in real life was nothing like seeing it in a comic or drama. And most important thing is the chilling hallway in contrast to the warmth of the classroom, the sound of bones breaking and being torn apart, and that the sight of the monster and the lifeless corpse and the overwhelming stench of blood, and this is experiencing of real death firsthand, brought unimaginable fear and helplessness. And while telling all these things, we see that main character is very suspicious and nervous, after which Doyun are told further. After the monster left, the news spread quickly to everyone. The classroom was filled with sorrow and countless emotions upon hearing about the teacher. And some students asked if there was anything we could do for the teacher. And why does it say 2 at the end that we have only 1, and the only thing we could do was close the classroom door and mourn? And he says this while going inside his classroom and sitting. This is the most disturbing thing. But the grief didn't last long. We had to come up with a plan for what to do next. Since not everyone had seen the situation in the hallway, the appearance of the monster, and why it didn't enter the classroom, were left to speculation. And that's it was wandering around during class time. The neighboring classroom disappeared, the hallways became distorted, and other strange events, and Jung-woo explained to the others what he had witnessed. After this, the class monitor explains all these things to all his classmates. That's all I saw. Now let's figure out what to do next, on which a man speaks to him. So what you're saying, class rep? And his name is Jeon Seok-oh, and there he is getting upset and talking to the class monitor. The murderer who killed our teacher. No, the monster after this, he says while showing a Korean book. You're saying it's the figure on the cover of the Korean textbook? Are you talking about the girl who is inside this? On this, the Jung-woo says yes to him, but then we see that guy speaking while making fun of him. Hey Jun, did you hear that? It's the monster from the Korean textbook, and here we see another guy who thinks of himself as a street thug, and he's holding this textbook, and his name is Choi Hyunjun, but the Jung-woo is speaking here to Jeon Sok. I wasn't the only one who saw it, so I'm sure. But then we see him interrupting the class monitor. No matter what anyone says, I believe the terrifying Korean textbook monster, and here he does not believe what our class monitor says at all, and is just making fun of him after then. But if you think about it, it's simple. We just need to kill the monster. And he speaks here while showing the picture of this girl. It's as small as a little kid, and it doesn't even attack if we're inside the classroom. So there's nothing to be scared of, instead of just sitting here afraid. Wouldn't it be better to deal with it quickly and find other survivors? After this, he asks everyone in his class, what do you all think? On this, we see a idiot boy he say to her that actually makes sense. Just like this, another girl comes between them whose name is Choi Nari. Now that I think about it, yeah, if we all attack it at once, even if it's a monster, it won't be able to fight back. And Jeon Sok-oh, he speaks while chilling. Maybe we really can win, and hey, see, it's not a big deal. Alright, let's go with my plan then, but the Jung-woo still refuses, and he says in nervousness, wait, we have to consider the worst case scenario. But then we see Jeon, he is acting like a psycho, and he says, banging his hand on the table loudly, what if physical attacks don't work on the monster? Or if there's another unexpected factor? After hearing this, the monitor is completely surprised and looks at him in shock, where that guy speaks. What the fuck then? What the hell are we supposed to do? And we have to take action if we want anything to change, instead of just saying, no, this won't work, and rejecting everything. Bring a better plan to the table then. Fuck, but monitor tried to convince him and said, see coke. Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong, but rushing into this without thinking will cost lives, and we can't afford to have more victims more than dealing with the monster. I think we should focus on finding a way to escape the black circle first. But we see Jeon speaking while raising objection to it. Fuck, this is so frustrating, and we can't even leave because of the monster. So what the point of finding an escape plan? While reading, he starts seeing something like an iron rod coming out from the front, and says while laughing, who wants to be the bait? Raise your hand. As long as we lure the monster, I'll stab and kill it. Even while reading, we talk to a girl while abusing her. You crazy bastard, what was to happen after this? Everyone in the class, as well as the day after, just looked at the girl in surprise. And here Jeon also goes crazy after listening to his words. But that girl talks to him. Someone was cut in half in a single strike, and you talk like it's nothing. And then why don't you be the bait yourself? But here we see Jeon making a face and saying, hey Han Sujin, you're talking like a real asshole. Makes me want to kill you. After which, we see all the nearby classmates who are very upset after seeing this drama between these two. But Sujin say his anger tone to her, stop acting tough and actually try killing me then. Stop running your mouth. Before the two of them start fighting, we see a fat guy stopping them, and Doyeon also gets worried and says, how can you guys fight in this situation? Then in the middle of this, a guy showing his notebook says, all of you keep quiet here. His name is Lee Sohan, which he says while pointing to a notebook he has. I'm done writing. Then Jung-woo looks at his notebook and says, but after reading the title written in the notebook, His eyes widen in surprise where it is written, "How to survive in the black circle." And he say, "What does this mean? Survive in the black circle?" Then Sohan explained it's exactly what it says. And now here Sohan also has a very brilliant idea which he wants to tell to all these classmates. He says, "We survive here and we can return outside. So everyone, stop fighting and listen."